Welcome to the Debt-Free Discovery. This is Michael Sokolik Jr., MSJR, financial coach, where we learn that all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. Debt is dumb. Let's learn how to crush it, stay out of it, and never go back into it. We're going to learn how to give generously beyond your wildest imagination. These are all biblical principles that have stood up to the test of time. Get ready. This is the start of the Debt-Free Discovery.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Debt-Free Discovery. This is the video series of critical thinking. What exactly is critical thinking? Well, it's not something that is taught in schools and a lot of households. I don't really see households teaching that either. Now look, I'm not trying to judge anybody's household because I fail as a parent to teach my kids critical thinking. However, as often as it comes to mind, I try to remind them of critical thinking and how to apply critical thinking to their lives. Well, here at the Debt-Free Discovery, we're here to talk about just financial management. So with that being said, when it comes to critical thinking, how can we apply that to our financial management? Well, a lot of you probably know that I do follow Dave Ramsey, and I think he has a lot of great teachings. And of course, my principles are the same because they all come from the Bible. It's not something that some man created. It's something that is from God's Word. So there's one thing that Dave Ramsey always says that I find very attractive, and that is that adults devise a plan and stick to it, but children do what feels good. Now, one of the Bible verses that I've noticed that actually correlates with this is Proverbs chapter 13, verse 12. Actually says that hope deferred makes the heart grow sick, but when the desire comes, it is a tree of life. So that leads me into step number one, is observation. Observation is the ability to notice and predict opportunities, problems, and solutions. Okay, so where do we begin with observation? The first thing is we have to understand that we have the ability to comprehend things, right? That's probably why you're here watching this video, is that you have the ability to comprehend financial management. So you're here to learn more about what it takes to do so. Now, the ability to notice, Now, the ability to notice and predict opportunities. Now, I'm not one for predictions. I'm not one to say, oh, I predict this or I predict that for the future. When it comes to the prediction, okay, when we're using observation and critical thinking, when it comes to prediction, we're predicting something that we know can be the outcome if I make this choice. We're not predicting, how is my money going to grow? We're not predicting where am I going to be in 5 years. We're predicting if I swipe this credit card, I know good and well that the interest rate is 26%. I'm predicting that I'll have the behavior to pay it off before they can charge me interest. But I can also predict that if something goes wrong and I don't have the money to pay it off, I can predict that I'll be paying 26% interest, right? So you have the ability to notice and predict opportunities, problems, and solutions. What are some opportunities? Well, we have to observe the situation. What is the opportunity of financial management? You have the opportunity to either spend it wastefully or you can spend your money wisely. So in the first step, which is observation, we see that we have two opportunities. Spend it foolishly or we can spend it wisely, okay? You can apply this to anything that you do with the money that you have earned. Now, we also have to identify problems. Now, remember, we have the ability to notice and predict problems that can come from our choices. So what might be some problems when you're buying something to make you feel good? Well, there could be two problems. One, you could be using debt to pay for this feel-good item. The other thing is that if you use debt, this feel-good item might feel good for a little bit, but then that void is not really filled. And you're back to square one, not feeling good. So you go do something again that feels good. for the moment. But you see, the problem here is you're foolishly spending your money. You're using your opportunity to do something that feels good. So hope deferred makes the heart grow sick, right? You put your hope into something, but you got to defer that hope temporarily. You got to work hard towards that hope, towards that whatever it is that you're going for. If you're trying to pay off your debt, you got to put aside some of those things that you enjoy doing, or the foods that you enjoy eating, or the restaurants, or the travel, the leisure, whatever it may be. You have to make temporary sacrifices and put things off to the side. And you have to focus on the problem that you have, and you have to get rid of that problem. So when it comes to the observation, you have the ability to notice and to predict, okay? Opportunities, we can spend it foolishly or wisely. We can notice or predict problems that could come from something, okay? Based on our spending choice, our spending opportunity. Then there are solutions. You see, the great thing about the solutions is that once you have devised a plan, you now have a solution. The only thing about a solution, okay, is the solution is your end goal. All right? You want to be debt-free. The solution to being debt-free is being debt-free, right? But you have to have a plan for your solution. That plan might change along the way as you're on your way towards your goal. So you have to observe the situation. Now, if you plan today to do the debt snowball and you figure it's going to take you 36 months to get out of debt, that's fantastic. Depending on how much debt you have, that could be great. If you have a little bit of debt, that's a long time. Why? So again, we have to observe our situation, knowing that I'm going to make this choice today, that I can get out of debt. We have a solution, but we have a plan to put in place to reach the solution. So what if you get a raise the next year? What do? You put more towards that. You have to observe the situation. Okay, I have the ability to notice and predict opportunities, problems, and solutions. Right now, I have a great opportunity to put more money towards my debt snowball, get rid of my debt problem, and solve the problem of being in debt. You see how simple that is? Critical thinking is a great, great tool for us as humans to make wise choices. And the first step is to observe what we are doing. The observation step of critical thinking is the ability to notice and predict opportunities, problems, and solutions. So the challenge to you today is, what are you going to observe about your finances? Are you going to sit down and actually go through your checkbook or your bank statements? Are you going to actually see what you're spending money on? Are you going to recognize some problems? Are you going to take the opportunity to grab those problems and tell those problems, hey, you're no good for me. You're messing up my life, and I got a solution for you. That solution is, I'm going to get rid of you. It could be fast food. It could be swiping that credit card all the time. It could be foolish spending, foolish giving. I'm a generous giver. We love to talk about generous giving, but there's foolish giving out there too. It could be a number of things. Observe your finances, run through them, find opportunities to straighten them out, find the problems, get rid of them, and there you have your solution to your first step of observation.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Debt-Free Discovery. Don't forget that diligent hands will rule, but laziness ends in slave labor. We hope that you learned something today that you can take with you for the rest of your life. Remember, debt is dumb. Don't forget to crush it, stay out, and never go back in. Also, give generously. It's not yours to keep. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Debt-Free Discovery.